7, 6, turkey sandwich, 10, 9, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing, Pikachu knees. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing, Dragon Ball Z. Hello everyone, this is the 26-second, 28-7, these numbers going too fast. We 30 seconds in, and I'm looking forward to seeing the miracles of what YouTube said they're gonna do for us on the 24th. Talk about some soon as you press go live, a floodgate of views gonna fall into your feed, and all of those views will be counted. Well, that used to happen. It did. But now since they started this rule, it ain't. I love the way you balance the scales, YouTube. You balance the scales like my parents. Now, if I give you this, I'm going to have to take something away. I get it. All my life I had to fight. Shouts out to YouTube. How you doing? My name is LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Thank you so much for coming in. How are my cool peeps doing? High five. Bam. Thank you for pressing the like button. I need to do a sound check really quickly to make sure the music in the background is not too loud. So it's going to be a quick moment of silence, not for Claressa Sheilds, but for me to see if this music too loud. Alright, I could turn it down a smidget. Nacho cheese. It's not Taco Tuesdays, but it's Thursday. Alright, I turned the music down. Let me see how it is now. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit more. Now I like this beat that's in the background, but for some reason, like when it's played through like certain devices or something, it like get real pitchy or something. Ain't nobody got time for that. So I think I did the music right now. How y'all doing today? My 5,000 people who in here, hey, if you don't think it, you won't be it. So I'm thinking it, and it's gonna be it. I'm quite sure all of you are all quite familiar with the legendary Claressa Sheilds. Wow. Well, gather around the forest fire, the dumpster fire, the bonfire, and my favorite, the ring of fire, up before the rising sun or after the setting sun, as we talk about Claressa Sheilds. Y'all remember when they had that press conference, right? I'm taking you back into the timeline of Claressa Sheilds' life. She had the time of her life. Alright, Claressa Sheilds' timeline. Not so long ago, in the faraway place, bang, like Samurai Jack. Long ago, August 15th, there was a fight Claressa Sheilds had between Miss Kaye Scott, to which in my mind she won. Let's go, Kaye, let's go, high five, bam, versus Claressa Sheilds on the 15th. Okay, so before that, what's the month before August? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So July, in the month of July, it was the press conference. Now, was the press conference on the 15th? I do not remember. That's something I will have to check and see. That will be a good question. So first, what I want to put in here is, are you tired of, let's see here, I'm going to put, are you tired of Claressa Sheilds? Alright. How you spell attitude? You know, when I'm doing these surveys on my live stream, it don't spell check. Now, maybe on the super duper fancy schmancy computers, maybe on the fancy schmancy computers, you have spell check in your YouTube live stream survey. But as for me, I don't. YouTube, I want you to know I'm not an android, I'm not a robot, I'm not artificial intelligence. So please send the people in. Moving forward, I'm looking how to spell attitude. Attitude. It sounded like I was about to spell Mickey Mouse. You know how they say Mickey. So I was like Attiut. So attitude is spelled Attitude. You tired of Claressa Sheilds' attitude? Okay, so that's the poll. Are you tired of Claressa Sheilds' attitude? And yes, it was in broken English. Okay. So what we're going to do is just start out this timeline of time. When was the day of Claressa Sheilds' timeline? Or not timeline. When was the day of Claressa Sheilds' press conference with I don't know what I was about to say. When was oh my gosh. I was about to type in when was the date of Claressa Sheilds' press conference with Tyler Perry. Boy, YouTubing and going to school full time sure is making my head soupy. When was the date of Claressa Sheilds' press conference with K Sky? Alright, so I'm waiting for that to load up. And there's something else I want to check. Wow, what's going on here? Oh, there it is. You know, I still haven't got used to that. As long as I've been involved with computers, which has been over 20 years, you know what still throws me through a loop? What throws me through a loop, my cool peeps, is when my toolbar disappears from my computer screen. It makes the computer look more full, but at the same time it's like something is missing, and what's missing is the toolbar. So I've been trying to still figure out sometimes, like, where is that? How do I get it back without accidentally closing stuff? So that's what just happened. I don't know why my toolbar just suddenly disappeared. So what I'm going to have to do is kind of like hover over it for it to pop up. I don't have time for that. I just need it to stay there so I can always see it. It's been a long time since I took the time out to pin my toolbar so it can stay on the desktop. Do you guys do, is that even still an option on computers, or do you even care? You open up your Chromebook, well, they don't have, I don't think Microsoft Word is on Chrome like that. If you open up like your regular desktop computer or laptop computer, minus it being a Chromebook, you ever take the time to go in your settings and be like, what do I want to do first? I want to figure out how to lock my toolbar into space. There used to be an option where you can have the toolbar pinned to the top, like to the left of your computer screen, the right of your computer screen, you know, the top, or even at the bottom of the computer screen. I used to take my time and figure that out because it's so important when you get a computer on how to have things set up. Especially if you're gonna, you're gonna be with your computer for a couple of years, so you might as well have it set up to what you like. So I think I'm the only one in the social media world talking about pinning the toolbar. I don't even think the geeks, I am too, but I don't even think the geek division of YouTube even talk about, so you're getting a new computer, eh? This is what you're going to do when you set it up. First, you're going to want to secure your toolbar. Nobody talking about that. Don't nobody care. Like, this is a touchscreen generation. We ain't trying to pin up nothing. Fine. Be that way. So when was the date of Claressa Sheilds' press conference with Kaye Scott, my cool peeps? Cord, you know what? Before I start reading, I already realized my eyes are getting strained. I am not going to sit up here and have my eyes get strained. Here we go. I switched the screens around. Claressa Sheilds and Kaye Scott had two primary press conferences ahead of their August 15, 2026 middleweight fight. The launch press conference held on June 30th, 2026 in Atlanta, Georgia, to officially announce and kick off the fight event. The final press conference held on August 13th, 2026 at the Center Stage Theater in Atlanta, just 2 days before they stepped into the ring. So the one I'm thinking about, June, July, I actually thought that happened in July. But nonetheless, I did see a press conference, which is how I got this idea anyways, about Claressa Sheilds repurposing her heavyweight belt as a water cooler. I have a picture right beside me of the day she was at the press conference that I watched, and I was wondering why her belts weren't standing up like Kaye Scott's were. It's a noble feat, so why is her belt laying down? But when I was wondering why her belt was laying down, I saw she had water bottles stuffed in there. I'm like, well, maybe it's a hot day. You know, maybe she just decided to, like, look, man, they know I'm heavyweight world champion or whatever. Like Hercule from Dragon Ball Z, I'm gonna stay hydrated and turn my belt into a cooler. I'm not gonna pass out sweating and carrying on. Who knows? I don't know if it was hot in that press conference or not. So I want to know more information about the no, I want to know more information about the press conference. I want to know more about the press conference with Zeus involved. So that's the one I want to know about. The Zeus Network partnered as the presenting sponsor for Claressa Sheilds' August 15 title fight against Kaye Scott. Maybe I should have reframed that. I want to know about, the Zeus press conference that happened before the August 15th. Man, time sure is flying. Okay, so I reframed the question / the search. Do you guys still use the word query? Am I saying that correctly? There's search engine, web browser, query. Nonetheless, I rephrased the query. I want to know about the Zeus press conference that happened before the August 5th fight, because it's that press conference that I'm talking about. No, I was not aware, my cool peeps, that there was a Claressa Sheilds press conference. There were two press conferences leading up to the fight on the 15th. I thought this was the only one. So, this is the one I'm sticking with right now. The Zeus Network undercard press conference took place on Tuesday, June 30th, 2026 in Atlanta, Georgia. It was held alongside the main launch press conference to officially kick off the promotion for Claressa Sheilds' August 15, 2026 title fight against Kaye Scott. Man, so this is the second confirmation that this happened in June. But it was June 30th, so it was at the end of the month, because I thought it was in July. The event combined professional boxing promotion with reality TV chaos and included several defining elements. The Promoters, hosted by Seleta Promotions in partnership with Win Records, Route 30 Promotions, and Claressa Sheilds Promotions. That's a lot of promotions. The Promoters, hosted by Seleta Promotions in partnership with Win Records, Route 30. I just read that. Route 30 Promotions and Claressa Sheilds Promotions. You know what, AI? I know you're listening. Would it be possible, like when I'm reading these when I'm reading these articles, especially on live, if you could provide some type of ruler or something like the Kindle, because I'll be losing my space. I'll be losing my place all the time, you know? Yeah, you know, it's a little embarrassing. You know, LA be up here on these live streams, and when she on here, she be losing her place. LA done lost her place. What's new, barbecue? What I'm doing right now is going through my YouTube studio, to which I shouldn't have closed out. But here we are. Now I need to relaunch a new separate page because I want to share this video out. So I'm loading this thing up. So talk amongst yourselves while I open up YouTube Studio so I can share this out. Now I don't have to open up YouTube Studio to share out the video, but what I'm doing, I want to copy and paste some of the message that's in the description into my post. You know, I don't want to just leave it up there like, here, watch my video, boom. I'm like, it don't have any substance to it. Even if they don't want to watch the video, you just don't copy and paste the link and drop it in there and be like, here y'all go. No. You gotta put a little something in there. So in addition to that, I'm gonna type in Weeeeee's live. No, I'm not gonna type that. You know, live, L-I-V-E. There we go. So I just shared it, and I feel good about all that. I have to be sure that I don't accidentally push the wrong button, because when I open up multiple tabs, everything get real tight, and it'll cause me to accidentally push the wrong thing, and ain't nobody got time for that. So thank you for waiting while thousands of all y'all talked amongst yourselves in the chat. I appreciate you for putting the thumbs up in there. We have 100,000 people in the chat. I know we can get these likes up. AI, can you please make a clip out of me making fun of myself? Oh my gosh, thank you so much. So I need to switch these frames around so I don't get cross-eyed trying to strain my eyes reading the screen. So the platform, we're talking about Zeus Network press conference, because this is how I got this whole title for today. This whole concept came from the press conference that I watched and did commentary over. If you are interested in listening / watching my Claressa Sheilds, Kaye Scott, Zeus Network, well, one of the Zeus inspired, what do you call it, campaigns or press conferences, the link to the full thing is below. So the Zeus Network undercard press conference took place on Taco Tuesday, June 30th, 2026 in Atlanta, Georgia. The crossover partnership. The promoters hosted Seleta Promotions in partnership with Win Records, Route 30 Promotions, and Claressa Sheilds Promotions. Claressa Sheilds Promotions. The platform, Zeus Network, served as the official presenting sponsor. They used the press conference to announce they would stream the live celebrity influence undercard beginning at 6 p.m. ET time, Eastern Standard, on fight night, leading into the main dancing broadcast. The host, media personality, and Zeus reality TV star Saucy Santana took the stage to host and moderate the celebrity portion of the panel. Now, I didn't see the celebrity portion. I have yet to see that. I only focused on the main event, which was Claressa Sheilds versus Kaye Scott. some time has passed, so I'm quite sure I can stumble across a bootleg copy of the latter half of the Zeus Network ensemble with the Ray J's and all the characters from Zeus. Ray J versus Orlando Brown eruption. The rivalry. The undercard announcement featured recording artist slash TV host Ray J facing off against actor Orlando Brown. Now, do you remember who won between that bout? Did Orlando Brown win? Or did, I was about to call him Jesse Jackson, y'all. I'll tell you, when I stretch my brain too thin, Ray J versus Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson will win because he'll be up there politicking and running his mouth all hour and put everybody to sleep. Ray J will pass out because he got succumbed from being bored. He just fall out. And then the referee will be like, and the winner is Jesse Jackson. And then, unfortunately, Jesse Jackson gonna want to give a speech, and that's gonna take a whole nother 12 hours. Once again, the rivalry. The undercard announcement featured recording artist TV host Ray J facing off against actor Orlando Brown. I don't even remember who won that. The incident. Their face-off instantly became the most talked about moment of the day. The two traded deeply personal, explicit insults that nearly escalated into a physical altercation. Speaking of howling, is it true that they had dogs at the State Farm Arena? Not CNI dogs, not circus dogs neither. This ain't no goddamn funeral. Is it true they had dogs at the arena? I'm going to have to make a video about that so we can research that together. The two traded deeply personal, explicit insults that nearly, I keep laughing at that part, nearly escalated into physical altercation before security and organizers stepped in to separate them. The clip immediately went viral across social media. For those of you who see it, did Ray J and I was about to call him Obama. Heaven help me, my mind, Lord, mend my mind back together. Pastor said, Lord ain't gonna put too much on you than you can bear, but I'm sure bearing a lot. Y'all see that fight? Number 3, Big Lex and Tasiki showdown. Every time I see Tasiki, I keep thinking of that sauce you get from the Oriental section at Walmart. And I keep forgetting we're talking about a person. Hey, Chile, what's going on? High five. Bam. You see all these people in this chat? The Lord surely is good. Thank you for coming in. I know all is going well with you. Today I'm just taking my precious time talking about this press conference. I already did the press conference review about a month ago, but what I'm doing is pulling additional fun facts out of that press conference. And one of the fun facts that caught my attention, was the fact that at the press conference, as you can see, right here as I point, why Claressa Sheilds had water bottles stuffed into her heavyweight championship belt. Therefore, looking like she was doing that intentionally to keep her water cool at this hot press conference. Which is why, is this true? The quote, Claressa Sheilds, did she repurpose her heavyweight belt into a water cooler? As we look at the picture, Let the proof reflect that that is a resounding yes. Court is now officially adjourned. Gavel! Boom, boom! Next time on Cold Case. Boom, boom! Water Cooler Rissa. She turned her belt into a cooler at a press conference that was heated. Hey, Water Cooler Rissa. Hey, 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 hey. Turned her belt into a cooler. Hey, 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 hey. Okay, let's go. Some more information about this whole press conference and carrying on. Point number 3, according to AI, is Big Lex and Tasiki showdown. The matchup. The conference formally introduced the highly anticipated grudge match between longtime Zeus reality rivals Big Lex and Tasiki. Now I need to. The Shields factor. The Shields factor. During the media event, it was highlighted that Claressa Sheilds was personally stepping in to act as the head trainer for Big Lex. The added unique sports dynamic to the reality star match, as Shields aimed to sharpen Lex fundamentals for the State Farm Arena. Now, if that's true, how Claressa Sheilds gonna be training somebody who's gonna be on her card or undercard, and she gonna be on it in the boxing too? How you gonna be training somebody for the same fight show you gonna be in? I don't know how they do that, but it sounds like Claressa Sheilds was doing way too much. Or as Mardia would say it, too merge. You're doing too merge. Number 4, extra reality chaos. Okay, I just read Chaos with Orlando Brown and Ray J. So what more could be happening? What more could be happening? Q Tyrese. Under the radar bouts. Under the radar bouts. The panel also included other internet personalities, including Not the Lil One. Now, I've never heard of him or her, Not the Lil One. So I guess I'll open up another tab to see who that is. Who is Not the Lil One? This artist, hopefully I typed in enough information. How in the world is my foot falling asleep so fast? I just sat down. You know, my foot's got its picks and chooses. I can sit here for a good hour and my leg don't fall asleep. And some days I can sit here for 5 seconds and then my whole body don't went to sleep. It's because you boring, LA. Well, if you here this long, apparently I'm not. No. Who is Not the Little One? Big Lex is the artist and internet personality known as Not the Little One. Tell me something. Moving forward. Okay, Zeus security battle. What? Not a Zeus security battle. How come y'all didn't tell me about this? Y'all supposed to be like, LA? And I'm supposed to be like, yeah. And y'all supposed to be like, did you hear about the Zeus security battle? And I'm going to be like, oh no. Alright, Zeus reality chaos. Under the radar bouts, the panel also introduced other internet personalities, including Not the Lil One, also known as Big Lex. Zeus security battle. To lean fully into the network's reality brand, Zeus CEO Lamel Plummer confirmed a match between two of the network's standout security guards, Xavier and Noah. Not to be confused with Professor Xavier from X-Men. Or is it? Dun dun. Hey. Xavier and Noah, who also traded verbal jabs at the microphone. So you mean the security, Lamel Plummer and the security got into it? The June 30th event successfully accomplished its goal, generating massive mainstream entertainment buzz that drove early ticket sales for the historic Atlanta boxing card. If you want, I can share what Claressa Sheilds said during her portion of the press conference, or give you the breakdown. Shakedown, breakdown, you busted. What's going on, Eddie Murphy? If you want, I can share what Claressa Sheilds said during her portion of the press conference, or give you the breakdown of the actual fight results from August 15th. Well, in this in this information, it was a lot in here, and what I'm doing right now is refraining from writing stuff down right now. I just kind of want to go with it. So I'm going back to what caught my interest in reference to this whole Zeus Network fight, because we are gathered here today on August 27th, 2026. It's Thursday, and the time for me is 1:11. And Zeus Network undercard press conference took place on Taco Tuesday, June 30th, 2026 in Atlanta, Georgia. It was held alongside the main launch press conference to officially kick off the promotion for Claressa Sheilds' August 15, 2026 title fight against Kaye Scott. Well, how many other press conferences were there and okay, so I'm asking, well, what other press conferences were there regarding this Kaye Scott Claressa Sheilds press conference? Because my Cool Peeps, I thought there was only one. So there was only one other major press conference specifically dedicated to the promotion of the fight, the Final Fight press conference. So what I asked is, how many other press conferences were there pertaining to the promotion of Kaye Scott and Claressa Sheilds' August 15th fight? There was only one other major press conference specifically dedicated to the promotion of the fight, the Final Pre-Fight press conference. Because the June 30th launch press conference at State Farm Arena, because the June 30th launch press conference at State Farm Arena combined both the main event announcement and the Zeus Network celebrity undercard into a single media day, the total promotional layout consisted of two distinct media days. Okay, break it down for me like yo gabba gabba. I'm trying to figure it out. We're going to figure it out together. Once again, RIP to the beautiful Dolly Parton. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, pets, plants, animals, artificial intelligence, and all living, breathing things here under the sun. My name is Elay, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm Breezy. Thank you so much for coming in for a set amount of time to hang out with me for a little bit. We are gathered here around the forest fire, the dumpster fire, the bonfire, and my favorite, the ring of fire, before the rising sun and for some after the setting sun, to talk about, did Claressa Sheilds turn her heavyweight championship belt into a water cooler? And with the picture provided to the left, let the record reflect, as you gather in closely, that the answer will be a resounding yes. Yes, my people, Claressa Sheilds did in fact turn her heavyweight water belt into a water cooler. Nyek, nyek, nyek. Boo! Because the June 30th launch press conference at State Farm Arena combined both the main event announcement and the Zeus Network celebrity undercard into a single media day, the total promotional layout consisted of two distinct media days. I tell you, folks don't know how to put periods in sentences anymore. It just be one long sentence, like you gotta hold your breath, It'd be like, if you could say that used to be a practice, wasn't it? Like if you could, for breath control, the one of the goals for breath control was to say the ABCs all the way through in one breath. So if you can do that, you can hold a note. Graphic trained dog food. Media Day 1, the launch Zeus press conference held on June 30th, 2026. This was the initial event where Claressa Sheilds, Kaye Scott, and the Zeus Network influencers, fighters all took to the stage to announce the August 15th card. Day 2, the final press conference. The final countdown. Oh, you gotta hit the high note. Hit the high note like Hercules. A special shout out to my boy, back by popular demand, Hercules the Shark, Moo Moo Bark Bark. He be trying to hit that high note. He sing his song, and he'll try to hit the high note. Moving forward. Day 2, the final press conference held on Thursday, August 13, 2026, my cool peeps. At the Center Stage Theater in Atlanta, this final event focused strictly on the professional world title fighters and the traditional Danzy broadcast. Danzy! It featured final face-offs between Sheilds and Scott, and it was also the day local officials presented Sheilds with the city officials' Claressa Sheilds Day. What proclamation? Now, when did you guys know that Claressa Sheilds she's got a special day? So it says here, this event focused strictly on the professional world title fighters and the traditional dons and broadcast. It features final face-offs between Sheilds and Scott. And it was also the day local officials presented Sheilds with the city's official Claressa Sheilds Day proclamation. So do that mean she gets the keys to the city? Because I mean, it seems like the same thing. Tomato, tomato. Keys to the city. You get a national day named after you. So this is Christmas. No, while the fighters also participated in a live weigh-in and brief red carpet media interviews the day before the fight, the August 13th event, my cool peeps, was the final formal press conference according to AI. Would you like to know about what happened at the final weigh-in or the final results of the fight between Sheilds and Scott? So, it features final face-off between Sheilds. So I want to know about this. As we go down the rabbit hole, when did Claressa Sheilds get a national day? When did Claressa Sheilds... When did Claressa Sheilds get a national day named after herself? According to AI, Claressa Sheilds does not have an official U.S. National Day, but she has been honored with four distinct municipal and country level celebratory days across two different cities. Now, this is new to me. Her celebrity, her celebratory days. August 19, 2012, Flint, Michigan. The Flint County Board of Commissions declared the first Claressa Sheilds Day to celebrate her returning home as a 17-year-old Olympic gold medalist from the London Games. April 27th, 2019, Flint, Michigan. According to AI, Flint leadership gave her a second official 2 weeks wait a second. Flint leadership gave her a second official day 2 weeks after she defeated Christina Hammer to become the undisputed middleweight champion. August 13, 2026, my cool peeps, in Fulton County, Georgia. Fulton County, Georgia. Fulton County surprised her by proclaiming August 13th as Claressa Sheilds Day during her pre-fight press week. August 15, 2026, Atlanta, Georgia. The Atlanta City Council officially proclaimed August 15, 2026 as Claressa the GWOAT Sheilds Appreciation Day to commemorate her historic achievement as the first woman to headline a boxing card at State Farm Arena. If you didn't know, now you know. So there are days, but they're not really official. But Claressa Sheilds has got celebratory days. Once again, Claressa Sheilds does not have an official U.S. national holiday, but she has been honored with four distinct municipal and country level celebratory days across two different cities: Flint, Michigan, and Fulton County, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, and two in Flint, Michigan. I didn't even know that. Wow. So I just got that information because I was just curious about wanting an explanation on the fights. There was only one other major press conference specifically dedicated to the promotion of the fight, the final pre-fight press conference that happened August 15th. And that was the Media Day #1, the launch / Zeus press conference, and Media Day #2, the final press conference. And it was here in the final press conference where I found out about this information. What's going on, Space Bondy? High five. Bam. How you doing today? Well, how you doing this evening? I hope you're having a good night. Thank you so much for coming in. It should be morning over there. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm here talking about the whole Claressa Sheilds situation and how I assume that she turned her heavyweight boxing belt into a water cooler. When she was at the press conference, she didn't have her belt standing up for the world to see. She had it flat. And I was wondering why she had her belt flat and Kaye Scott had all her belts on her table set up for everyone to see. So since I was wondering, like, why isn't Claressa Sheilds showing off her boxing belts, I looked further at the table and I saw she had her water bottles in there. Yeah, it's in the morning time. Yeah, so good morning. That's really cool. Yeah, Claressa Sheilds had her water bottles stuffed into her belt. I have a bigger picture of that, so I'm going to show you it. Where's that picture? Now with this picture, it's going to be at the top. I didn't have time to cross out papoose, but nonetheless, I'm going to remove myself from the shot and you'll be able to see Claressa Sheilds using her heavyweight belt as a water bottle cooler. Now, to the left of her is the belt holding the water bottles. And then to the right, there's her other belt that's purple. Why isn't that one sitting up? I mean, she's so proud to be like the heavyweight, the greatest of all time, right? So why isn't she showing her belts? At least the other one that's not being occupied with water bottles. But there it is. And she's drinking Dasani water. Shameless plug. Shouts out to Dasani water. Alright, Dasani water. There you have it. Claressa Sheilds is now, I'm giving her the nickname. Yeah, it's wild. And there's the proof. Water Cooler Rissa is the name that I am giving her here on Elay TV. I'm going to assume, not going to assume, I assume that she did that with the first belt because maybe it was really hot at the press conference. A lot of people were clowning the press conference, saying that it was ghetto and it was cheap and blah blah blah. Look, I like the press conference, okay? Because I'm a creative. So I'm always looking for ways to figure out how I can set up a makeshift set or something, you know? So everyone said the press conference was cheap, blah blah blah, poorly put together. So if that were the case, maybe they didn't have air conditioning running. And so Claressa wanted to keep her water cool. And the only option she had was to put it in her belt. I think that was smart, but I don't think that was the intention. But in my mind here on Elay TV, that's what it is. Water Cooler Rissa. Bum, bum, bum. All right, I'm going to switch the picture back out. Switch the picture back out. You gotta do what you gotta do. And then if it was hot in there and the water bottles were cold, you don't want the perspiration from the water getting all on the table. Don't know if she had notes on the table or like a little electronic device, so you didn't want the water bottle sweat to be getting all on the table. That's funny. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. That was my fan. This thing is like weird. It's like top heavy or something. So yeah, I thought that was really funny. And when you were coming into the live stream, I was finishing up talking about that. I didn't know Claressa Sheilds had 4 unofficial days. And how I found out that information is in this paragraph right here, talking about the 2-day media press run for the this press conference Claressa Sheilds had for the fight that already happened. Media day number 2, the final press conference held on Thursday, August 13, 2026, at the Center Stage Theater in Atlanta. This final event focused strictly on the professional world title fighters and their traditional dancing broadcast. It featured final face-offs between Sheilds and Scott, and it was also the day it was also the day local officials presented Sheilds with the city's official Claressa Sheilds Day proclamation. I didn't know that. Moving forward, as Hercules the shark would say, moving forward. At the top of my notes, as I scroll all the way back to the top, we talked about, wow, that's a lot of notes up here. Oh, that was from the day before. What was it? The day before yesterday I did another live. Wow, it just continued my notes from the last live stream. These are old notes. Why Claressa Sheilds thinks she's great. That video already happened, so I went all the way back too far. Okay, computer, thank you for keeping my notes. I am looking for... When was the date of the Claressa Sheilds press conference? Here it is. Claressa Sheilds and Kaye Scott had 2 primary press conferences ahead of their August 15, 2026 middleweight title fight. The launch press conference held on June 30th, 2026 in Atlanta, Georgia, to officially announce and kick off the fight event. I'm going to drift off to sleep soon. It's been a long day. Tell Bella no yelling, please. Oh my gosh, tell me about it. Bella Swan is a mess, isn't she? I will tell Bella Swan no yelling. Thank you so much for coming in. Have a great sleep, and may you get all the answers you ever wanted in your dreams. Have a good one. Thank you, my cool peep. Thanks for coming in, Space Body. High five. Bam. So those are the two things that transpired leading up to the press conference. For some reason, when I first started reading this today in the live stream, I was under the assumption that there were 3 press conferences. Maybe I just misunderstood the assignment. But for clarification purposes, I want to know, were there 3 press conferences? Leading up to this fight? We're about to see now. No, there were only 2 formal press conferences held before the fight to promote the matchup. While some fans and media outlets occasionally refer to a 3rd press conference, they are usually counting the post-fight media event. The exact timeline consisted of... Wow. That will be funny. Water bottles. The water bottles are here. Oh, I'm like, okay, do you want me to run? They're water. It's life. Why would I run away from that? Do better. Unless they're the family size water bottles. Get out of the way before they roll you over. But yeah. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I don't think there are any water bottle emojis, but I'm going to see. No water bottle emojis. So I'll just put some water. That's funny. Run for your lives! It's the water's family size water bottles. Man. Thank you for that once again. High five. Bam. There were only 2 formal press conferences held before the fight to promote the matchup. You gotta fight for your right. Okay, while some fans and media outlets occasionally refer to a 3rd press conference, they are usually counting the post-fight media event. Post-fight media event. The parrot, y'all. The parrot. The exact timeline consisted of number 1, the launch press conference June 30th, 2026, the initial media day introducing the fight and the Zeus Network celebrity undercard. Celebrity undercard. That doggone parrot. The final pre-fight press conference held August 13th, 2026, the traditional fight week gathering 2 days before the bout, and number 3, the post-fight press conference August 15th/16th, 2026, held immediately after Sheilds won by 6th round technical knockout TKO. If you want, I can share details on what happened during the weigh-in, which took place between the final press conference and the fight. Specific quotes from the post-fight press conference where Sheilds discussed her performance. Wow, this is fun. I just realized after I get finished reading information from a question that I asked AI to answer for me, it always asks at the end if you want to, I can share, or if you have additional questions, or if you want to keep the conversation going, I can do this. But it gave me 2 choices today. But today, the way the questions were set up, it seemed different. And it instantly reminded me of those stories when we were kids where you could choose your own adventure. So it made me feel like I was reading the choose your own adventure. So having said that, out of the two prompts AI provided, one being specific quotes from the post-press fight conference where Shields discussed her performance, or details on what happened during the weigh-in, and which took place between the final press conference and the fight. I want to know about details on what happened during the weigh-in. So I'm going to ask, can you please tell me about this? And push that. I want to know more about the weigh-in. It seems like with this weigh-in, my Cool Peeps, they make a big event out of it. Now, are these boxing weigh-ins televised? If they're televised, like, are they limited? Like, do you have to have a subscription for this stuff to be seen? I know with this fight that happened with Claressa Sheilds, I think it was busted up into two sections. Zeus Network and Dancing, something like that. But I didn't like how confusing it was, you know, because I wasn't sure if you could see the whole fight through Zeus Network, or only a portion of the fight. But by that time, I had other things on my plate to deal with, so I wasn't able to follow through with it. So all I had time to do was the day of the fight. I did stay up and I listened to play-by-play commentary on the fight through, hold on now, I'm trying to think of his name. Boxing Ego did live commentary. So I stayed up really late to listen because the boxing match started late. So I was up pretty late just trying to stay up so I can listen to the commentary. So thank you, Boxing Ego, for doing live commentary, especially for those who didn't want to pay money for a subscription just to see the fight. Listening to it is just like listening to a baseball game on the radio. It's like being there, especially if they commentate, do group commentating. So I did enjoy that. I have some leftover popcorn. I tied it up really tight, and it's still fresh. Isn't that cool? Three cheers to leftover popcorn. I ate half of the bag yesterday, and then I decided to save the rest of it for today. And you know what? I'm glad I did, because I'm here making a live stream with all my Cool Peeps. It's nice doing this because usually I'll be trying to do my homework, but today I'll pick up on my homework later. I needed to diversify my schedule. I think all that studying was starting to stretch my brain, and it started to make it feel like a rubber band. So it's time to get into some YouTube. So I have here, can you please tell me about this? Details on what's happened during the weigh-in, which took place between the final press conference and the fight. Breaks are definitely okay. That's right. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking a break from my homework, getting into YouTube. I miss YouTubing, you know, like how consistently like I was. I really do miss having a consistent schedule. I do. But here I am, doing my best to balance school full-time, YouTube, and being, you know, a mom and a wife, and all that stuff. So we have here at the final official weigh-in on Friday, August 14th. How come this seems like this is setting up to be a spooky story? At the final official weigh-in. Ooh. On Friday, August 14th, 2026, both fighters looked in phenomenal shape. Okay. I'm gonna put some ghosts in the chat. Are you all ready for the harvest season? Well, on the other side of the world, you're all preparing for springtime. Well, on this side of the world, are you all ready for harvest season? In fact, I actually am. Usually, I will be holding on to the whatever's left of spring and summer. Because I like the springtime. I like the springtime, okay? And it's going away. Oh no, I don't want you to. Okay, so we have to figure out before you fall off into a deep sleep. How about water bottles wearing family size water bottles wearing Casper the Ghost t-shirts? Now that's something that's not scary. Who's gonna run away from a water bottle wearing Casper the Ghost t-shirts? Yes, spring is coming for you all now. And I'll put some flowers in here. I have some flowers. Let me look. I need a better variety of flowers. You know, when I type in the word flowers in my emoji search, it only shows me a couple of flowers. It don't show me all the others. So what I had to do was go through manually. So here's some nice flowers. I've got some springtime flowers for you. Space Bondy. Oh, look, let's put that in there. And there's a fern. Have you seen any, or is it too soon? But have you seen any bumblebees yet? The furry ones that are cute. At the final official weigh-in on Friday, August 14th, my cool peeps, August 14th, 2026, both fighters looked in phenomenal shape and successfully made weight at the center stage in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. The key details and events from the weigh-in include: you did? Ah, yeah, you got the plants that attracts the bees. That's dope. No, I think there's an emoji for that. I'm gonna type in purple. And see if that emoji is in there. Well, I don't see it anymore. So I was looking for the purple, this purple flower that I used to see. So since I don't see the purple flower, I'm going to put purple emojis in here. Yeah, and there's an Australian leaf. And there's an Australian leaf could be. Oh, really? Isn't it be in your garden? You only saw it once. Since we're talking about it, maybe you'll see it again. I'm wishing for the best in that. I hope you see it again. Wouldn't that be fun? I'm going to look at it. Leaf cutter bee. In one of my morning moves, I was talking about various bees. Long story short is bees come in various colors. So that's really nice. Leaf cutter bees are highly beneficial solitary insects famous for cutting neat circular holes out of a plant leaves to build their nests. Unlike honeybees, they do not live in social colonies like Space Bondy said. They do not live in social colonies or make hives, making them incredibly docile and non-aggressive. Quick facts about the leafcutter bees. Distinctive behavior. They use their sharp jaws to snip semicircular pieces of leaves, or flower petals to line their breeding tubes. That's so cute, isn't it? That's adorable. They have to make their home. Master pollinators. They are incredibly efficient pollinators, especially for backyard gardens, orchards, wildflowers, and crops like alfalfa. Alfalfa! Safe neighbors. Male leafcutter bees cannot sting, and females will only sting if handled roughly. Their sting is much milder than a honeybee's. And nesting habits of the cutter bee. They look for pre-existing cavities like hollow plant stems, rotting wood, or manufactured insect hotels to lay their eggs. Yeah, I hope you find the home. Do you think if you lay out some, for lack of a word, booby traps, but they're not really booby traps, do you think if you laid out some dry wood around, you'll be able to bring them out, thusly following them back to where their home is? Based on what AI said, that they like to and you probably already know this, but how they look for pre-existing cavities like hollow plant stems, rotting wood. Do you think, like, if you go on a walk or something, you can now make it your business as you go on a walk or a hike, you can look for like hollowed out wood or rotting wood and just sit it in your yard so it can get acclimated with your environment, and then maybe they'll come out. Garden damage versus benefits. While finding precise circular cuts out of your rose, ash, or what is it, bougainvillea leaves can look alarming, the damage is purely cosmetic. The bees do not eat the leaves, and their nesting activity will not kill or permanently harm healthy plants. Insecticides are not recommended, that's for sure. And the bees are vital for the ecosystem. Look, how to attract them to your garden. I want to find their home so I can make it safe, but natural wood will be much better. Here's something right here. How to attract them to your garden. If you want to boost your garden's pollination, you can easily provide a home for them. Bee hotels. Hang a wooden nesting block drilled with 1/4 inch, that's 6 millimeter, holes in a sunny south-facing spot protected from rain. Stems. Leave hollow or pithy plant stems like raspberries or sunflowers standing in your garden over the winter. I've seen that. Leaf sources. Keep plants they love to harvest from nearby, such as roses, lilacs, or clovers. So there's additional tips to help draw them out so you can find where they are going to bring all that stuff back. I'll add it to my project book. Exactly. I'm very happy. See, everything happens for a reason. So for a future record, whenever you wake up, how to attract cutter bees, if you want to get more detailed, you know, the computer AI overview provided 3 fun facts. Number 1, bee hotel, natural stems, leaf sources. Thank you so much. That's cute. I've seen that, and it's been a minute since I've seen that. And that I'm talking about is the bee hotels. Hang a wooden nesting block drilled with 1/4 inch or 6 millimeter holes into a sunny south-facing spot protected from rain. My mind goes back to like those Saturday morning shows where they will have like the Discovery Channel for kids will come on Saturday morning before or after the cartoons go off. And there was this guy, he was outside and he had like this block of wood and he was drilling random holes in it. And it had something to do with like, drawing certain insects to the area. Maybe it was like to a community garden or something. So as I read that, how to attract them to your garden, I thought about that TV show from a long time ago. And once again, thank you so much for planting that in there for us. That's really cool. Gardening takes you away in like in more ways than one. It's so fun, it's healthy. You learn so much, you feel connected. It teleports you away from wherever you are and puts you somewhere else. AI is asking, are you asking about leafcutter bees because you notice cosmetic damage on your plants? Or are you looking to buy or build a bee house to attract them? AI is so inquisitive, isn't it? Thank you, AI, for that wonderful information. There. So where we left off at is, can you please tell me about the details on what happened during the weigh-in, which took place between the final press conference and the fight? At the final official weigh-in on Friday, August 14, 2026, my cool peeps, both fighters looked in phenomenal shape and successfully made weight at the center stage in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. The key details and events from the weigh-in include Claressa Sheilds. She took the scale at 159.8 pounds, safely making the middleweight limit of 160 pounds. This was considered a significant achievement as she had put in serious work to strip away the weight after dropping back down from the heavyweight division. Kaye Scott. Yay, Kaye Scott! Look, I already placed my bid before the fight happened. I was on the side of Kaye Scott, and I was like, I don't care what the results are. If she wins or if she loses, she already won for me. So, Kaye Scott, you are a winner to me. Kaye Scott, the defending WBA and WBC champion, weighed in slightly lighter at 158.8 pounds. Aww. Both fighters showed off incredibly sculpted physiques. A special appearance by Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather Jr. The entourage. In the most talked about moment of the weigh-in, Floyd Mayweather Jr. made a surprise appearance to personally support Shields, walking out alongside her to the stage. Goodness, I didn't know that. I heard that he was there by way of the commentary of Boxing Ego. Shields' reaction. Shields expressed that having her idol there made her feel exceptional. She stated she felt incredibly fast, healthy, and completely prepared to deliver a great performance on her historic fight night. The final face-off, according to AI. The demeanor. The face-off was tense, but highly professional. Scott stated during the media interviews at the scales that she felt physically and emotionally on point. She noted that while people underestimated her due to her pro record, her 15-year tenure on the Australian national amateur team meant she was ready to prove she was the best in the world. I like that confidence, in the world. The atmosphere. The atmosphere. The weigh-in successfully set a historic tone for the weekend, solidifying the anticipation for the first ever women's heading event at the State Farm Arena. What I liked about this fight, my cool peeps, was not only Miss Kaye Scott being there, but Zeus being there, and also, like AI said, it was a lot of things that happened within this event, even though it kind of got mixed up with all of the drama. But the drama comes with it. Anything regarding the Zeus Network comes with Jerry Springer energy, because Zeus Network lives for the drama. Now, when Zeus Network first started out, it was started off, I believe, to be something clean, something for us to have, for us meaning African Americans. But unfortunately, no one was really flocking to Zeus Network to see all the positive shows that they had on there, except for me. I was probably the only one. So when they started venturing out into something else, the something else that worked, unfortunately, was like the baddie shows that promotes violence and all that stuff. So that's what really got Zeus Network to where they are now. Household name, yes, they are. Whether you like them, here they are. No different from Claressa Sheilds. Whether you like her, here she is. And quite frankly, the way Claressa Sheilds has been falling off of the wagon of being a nice person, she falls perfectly into the chaos of Zeus Network. Drama, backbiting, backstabbing, cannot be trusted. All the qualifications you need to be a baddie on Zeus Network, unfortunately. Claressa Sheilds is that. Moving forward. According to AI, you can watch the full star-studded weigh-in and the final face-off between Sheilds and Scott here. So that's cool. The weigh-in is about 10 minutes long. Okay. So they do make a whole thing out of the weigh-in. I think the weigh-in is important because what I'm gathering as I learn a little bit more about boxing each time I do talk about Claressa Sheilds and all of her majesty, and I say that with sarcasm, this weigh-in thing is very important because if you don't make weight, you don't fight, and if you don't fight, you don't eat, and if you and the people around you don't eat, you may lose your teeth. It's gotta be tough for someone to commit to being a professional boxer, because how in the world do they have time to factor in a part-time job plus train around the clock like Goku? On Dragon Ball Z, Goku is constantly training. If he's not training, he was fishing for food so his wife can go cook. Then he was eating, and then he would fall back to sleep for 80 hours, then get up, fly off somewhere, and go train again in a hyperbolic time chamber, or heaven knows where else he'd go training for 40 days and 40 nights. And it's like, well, somebody's got to make the money while you flying around here fighting and carrying on. So in reference to the boxing people in general, kudos, because it seems like when you want to become pro, that seems like a shaky thing to do. It's kind of like when you're a content creator and you make it, and I'm only going by examples. I've been on YouTube 14 years, and the story has never changed from every content creator I've seen start from the bottom and go all the way to the top and can successfully make a living from YouTube. Their stories never change, and it goes a little something like this. They started YouTube for fun. Then eventually they started getting traction. So that's when they started investing more time into it. And upon investing more time into it, they're seeing that this mic can turn around. It sees that maybe they can start doing a little something, such as paying a phone bill or having extra gas money. Then the story would continue where it would escalate to, you know what? Now I can do a little bit more. And then it moves to the next stage where they're like, oh my gosh, I think I can live off of this. So when they get to that point, you have to have a conversation, no different from the boxers. This is the time where boxers and YouTubers have to make a decision. Are you going to let your job go so you can commit full time to the thing you love, be it boxing or YouTubing? Or are you going to go the other way and just keep boxing and or YouTubing as a hobby? All YouTubers and all boxers alike are faced with this. And the most of them, they take the leap. They take the leap. So shouts out to all the YouTubers who have made it and all the boxers who took the leap, because it can be scary to do that. Because as I think about it out loud, it's like they don't have time for a second job. Kaye Scott, on the other hand, when she was younger, she did. But I would like to hear more about her story, because Kaye Scott said that she worked when she first started boxing and she boxed. You know, and she sold candy bars, and I'm trying to think what else she did. You know, and at the time she had to keep being a boxer under wraps because in a certain jurisdiction of Australia where she lived, women couldn't even box at all. So she had a lot going against her during her time in the probably late 80s or maybe early 90s of her time. So her story coming up was way different. And here she is today fighting against Claressa Sheilds. And I don't think Claressa Sheilds really honors all that Kaye Scott has done. If it wasn't for people like Kaye Scott and Miss Layla Ali, there wouldn't even be a Claressa Sheilds. So having said that, shouts out to Miss Layla Ali and shouts out to Miss Kaye Scott. How you doing? So this is cool. So weigh-ins are definitely important. So I've just really locked that in today to what time is it? I just locked this in today at exactly 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over here on August 27th. The importance of weigh-ins. So I'm going to ask if AI can express to me just how important the weigh-ins are. Just how important weigh-in there. As I wait for the answer to load, I will take a sip of my tea. Wow, it loaded the answer fast. I think AI likes this conversation. Thank you, AI, my assistant for YouTube. In combat sports, my cool peeps like boxing and MMA, the official weigh-in this is the absolute final hurdle a fighter must clear before they are legally allowed to step into the ring. Wow. Legally allowed? Legally allowed? That's heavy. I'm going to read that again. In combat sports like boxing and MMA, the official weigh-in is the absolute final hurdle a fighter must clear before they are legally allowed to step into the ring. It is arguably the most stressful, physically punishing, and logistically critical part of a fighter's training camp. That's heavy. Weigh-ins are incredibly important for several distinct reasons. Safety and fair compensation, legal contracts and massive financial penalties, championship title eligibility, psychological warfare, the face-off. Those are 4 powerful, heavy-hitting components that fall under the category of these weigh-ins that seem to last at least 10 to 15 minutes, man. Your life is hanging in the balance, albeit because of a scale, pun intended. Your life is hanging in the balance. That's scary, but it's only scary if you're not doing what you have to do to prepare for the fight. But if you are an actual boxer who just struggles with weight in general, that's another story. It can be scary then if maybe you hit a certain age and your metabolism suddenly starts to tank. You're like, what the heck am I going to do? Last time I was fighting, I didn't have this issue. Now I'm having issues not being able to get this stuff off in a timely manner. It can be scary because your life hangs in the balance. Your check lies in the balance. So number one, once again, weigh-ins are incredibly important, my cool peeps, for several reasons. Number one, safety and fair competition. According to AI, the weight advantage, even a few extra pounds, can completely change the power of a punch or the leverage of a wrestling move. Weight classes exist so that fighters can face opponents of similar natural size. Brain protection. Weight cutting strips fluid from the body, including the protective fluid surrounding the brain. If a fighter cuts weight too rapidly or improperly, they risk severe dehydration, which dramatically increases the dangers of concussions or serious brain injury during the fight. Now that's some serious stuff right there, guys. I'm just thinking about all the times when I had practice after high school. We didn't even have this type of care. It was hot outside. We still had to run. F dehydration, just get out there and run. Things have changed so much. Number two, legal contracts and massive financial penalties. The contracted limit. When a fight is signed, both athletes agree to a very specific maximum weight. For example, exactly 160 pounds for middleweight. Missing weight penalties. If a fighter misses weight by even a fraction of a pound, they face severe financial consequences. Typically, they must forfeit 20% to 30% of their entire fight purse, which is the salary, which is directly given to their opponents as a penalty. Now, I wouldn't mind if I was boxing against a friend. I probably wouldn't make the weight just because. I wouldn't care because at least I know the money's going to my bestie. But 9.5 times out of 10, if you don't make weight, nobody wants to give 20% or 30% to their opposition. Why? So if that's not motivation to want to get your weight in check, I don't know what is. Cancellation risk. If a fighter misses the weight by too much, the athletic commission or the opponent can cancel the fight entirely. This means months of hard work and hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on training camp are instantly wasted. That's why you all should become sideline Pokemon trainers for your side gig. Because what if you don't make weight class? At least you can always fall back on Pokemon Go trading collectible cards to cash in on a rainy day. Yo, I got Pikachu. I ain't make weight. I gotta sell one of these cards. Wow, did I read all that already? How could I have read all this already? Wow, we're already on point number 3. Weigh-ins are incredibly important for several distinct reasons. Number 1, safety and fair competition. Number 2, legal contracts and massive financial penalties. Number 3, championship title eligibility. The title stripping rule. Title stripping rule. Please excuse the parrot. In championship boxing, my cool peeps, if the defeating champion misses weight, they are automatically, stripped of their world titles on the scale before the fight even happens. What in the anime is going on? That sounds like something that they would do on an anime cartoon, a Toonami. Once again, my cool peeps, under championship title eligibility, the title stripping rule. In championship boxing, if the defending champion misses weight, they are automatically stripped of their world titles on the scale before the fight even happens. I wish in this moment that not only having that belt also had to tie in with being morally correct at least a little bit, to which Claressa Sheilds isn't. So I wish that if she got on the scale, the boxing arena would strip her of her boxing thingies for disrespecting Alicia Baumgardner. Hold on, first and foremost, Miss Layla Ali, her father's legacy, Alicia Baumgardner, content creators, and anyone else that has crossed her path, and all the other people she may have hurt in the past. On morality alone, she should be stripped. No title for the challenge. If the challenger misses weight, they can no longer win the championship belt. Even if they go out and win the fight the next night, the title becomes, quote, vacant, end quote, or only available to the fighter who successfully made weight. Number 4, psychological warfare, the face-off. Breaking point. The weigh-in is usually the first time the public sees the fighters completely depleted. Looking into an opponent's eyes at the scales allows a fighter to see if their rival is mentally broken, exhausted, or fiercely confident. If that don't sound like the upbringing in my household, maybe I should take boxing on. Moving forward, the scale victory. Successfully making weight provides a massive psychological boost. It represents a victory over oneself before the actual fight begins. Wow, that was heavy. I like that. That was scary. I don't even box, my cool peeps, but the way that AI set up the information leading to all this, I got a little nervous because I'm like, wow, this whole weigh-in thing, your life is balancing on the scales literally. And then at the end where it explained, like, the weigh-in is usually the first time the public sees the fighters completely depleted. Whew. Looking into an opponent's eyes at the scales allows a fighter to see if their rival is mentally broken, exhausted, or fiercely confident. What in the what in the Mortal Kombat is going on? Well, at least I know when Mortal Kombat comes here to Earth, if they haven't already started selecting folks, I'ma be safe, because they only going to be looking for the boxers. Mortal Kombat won't be selecting me. Have you seen Mortal Kombat Part 2? It's good. I'm very happy. I believe there's going to be a Mortal Kombat Part 3. I mean, based on the way it ended, it's gotta be Domino's Buffalo Wings. Y'all, man. Shouts out to y'all, man. Do you know what I mean? Bada bing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, pets, plants, animals, artificial intelligence, and all living, breathing things here under the sun. My name is LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. We are gathered here around the forest fire, the dumpster fire, the bonfire, and my favorite, the ring of fire, up before the rising sun or after the sunset, to talk about Cooler Rissa. Cooler Rissa. Did Claressa Sheilds turn her belt into a water cooler? In the picture I have provided to my left, it specifically shows that she in fact has 2 Dasani water bottles stuffed into her belt. For those who are in here, I will provide a more up close and personal picture of Cooler Rissa with her water bottles in her water belt. Sorry I didn't make the time to block out Papoose. But there it is in all of its eternal glory. There's Rissa, there's her Dasani water bottles, and bam, at the press conference that I reviewed, there them water bottles, y'all. So, this makes me wonder, well, on that day of the broadcasting of the, I was about to call it an unboxing, of the press conference, was it actually hot in the building for Claressa Sheilds to stuff the Dasani water bottles inside her belt to keep them cool? Come on, Zeus Network. Don't let them be up there sweating like that. Maybe that's why Papoose had on his, in my white tee. And it looks like he's sweating right there. You know, maybe that's good I didn't cut that out. Look, he looked like he was sweating. I don't think Zeus Network wanted them to cut the AC on. What's going on, Black Dot? Bam! How you doing today? Welcome in. I tell you, man, as I look at this picture more, now I don't want to get struck down because Claressa got the girls out. So I'm getting ready to sit up so I can kind of block that out real quick with my hat. Let me see if I can kind of block out the girls. Alright, so there we go. That'll do. Because we focusing on Claressa Sheilds and you can still see her. I actually like that look on her. That's a cute look. And the water bottles. Good afternoon, y'all. He definitely looks hot and uncomfortable. Yeah, so it's a good thing I didn't clip him out because I think he's sweating. So Word on the curve is that Papoose and Claressa Sheilds' entourage being all in everybody's videos, incognito, under burner accounts. So, was it hot at the press conference? If so, did y'all beat up Lamel Plummer for not turning on the dang on AC? I know Claressa was trying to lose weight, but she ain't trying to lose weight by sweating it all out at the press conference. I mean, it's the press conference. All eyes on Rissa. All eyes on Kaye Scott. They up there dolled up, makeup. They don't have time to be sweating through all that. What y'all trying to do? Embarrass the two of them? Now, I know they have more money than me, so maybe they can afford waterproof makeup. But who want to really see if it worked? The only time I want to see if my waterproof makeup gonna work is if I decide to pull on the full face and go swimming. That's the only time I want to see if it's gonna work, but not live on the camera. Come on now. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe it's... Y'all quit messing with these people. Just so much to say, folks. It's just so much to say. Water Cooler Rissa is the name that I have given her here on Elay TV. It's right there for the world to see, like James Brown said to Jill Scott when they were out there with that picnic table set up, as Jill Scott dressed up as Mrs. Claus and had the girls out like Rissa, and that man was looking at her. James Brown told her, go on back in the house. And then after the Christmas gift giving was over, James Brown went in there and was like, what's wrong with you, girl? You got your stuff all out for the world to see. Back. You get in there and clean yourself up. Insane. Get on up. Get on up. Get on up. How? Got the feeling. Baby, baby, I got the feeling. Baby, baby, baby. Baby, baby, baby. Baby, baby, baby. Baby, baby, baby. Come on, Michael. Come on. Okay, daddy. Baby, baby, baby. Oh, hey. Oh, yeah. Shouts out to Michael Jackson. James Brown. My dogs. Claressa Brown. Yeah, Claressa Sheilds Brown. She ain't black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Y'all know how it is. Everything we do, yeah, we do big. Claressa Sheilds is brown. So I know when she went to school, she had no issues when we had to go to elementary when they say draw self-portraits. It was easy for her to pick her shade because it was already in the box. In my mind, that had to be a confidence booster. Because when I was growing up, we didn't have my shade in the box. So I had to blend colors together to make my shade, and I looked sick. The picture of myself, I looked crazy. Because I was trying to mix the crayons together to make my shade. Yeah, Claressa Brown. Yeah. You know, somebody out there called it, oh no, was it Alicia Baumgartner who unfortunately called Claressa Sheilds James Brown? You know how our hair get when it ain't done. And you know how our hair get when it's not permed. And then you know how it get when it gets sweated out, singing out there on this hot stage with them hot lights. It's gonna look like James Brown hair. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. It's a sad shame. It's the sad shame. It's the sad shame. But she had it coming. Alicia Baumgartner was minding her boxing her boxing business. And Alicia, then Claressa Sheilds came out of nowhere, confronted her at that MVP thing, and committed to attempting to put her hands on her. So yeah, anything after that is game on. You don't come up to somebody's establishment, they're minding their own business, doing their own thing. You come up to their house and start a fight after they invited you. It was a good look. Everybody was supposed to win that day. But no, Claressa had to come up there with the drama and missed a wonderful opportunity. That's it. That's all. From the outside looking in. Now, if there's some other things that transpired behind the scenes that led to that, eventually all that will come to the light, because it sure seems like ever since I was about to say Morgan Freeman, Cat Williams a couple of years ago sat on Club Shay Shay's set and was like, "It's gonna be the year of exposure." Stuff been rolling out. So if there's anything under the sun regarding Alicia Baumgartner, Claressa Sheilds, and any details that Claressa Sheilds may be not able to say, eventually all of that stuff's going to come out. So it's just a matter of time before the whole story gets put together. That's the water bottle, people. That's the proof. We have a survey up here. I'm curious to see what all my cool peeps are saying. You, I said you. I know I'm tired. Because I've been going to school full time. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I have wifely duties. I have to clean the house and all that fun stuff, Plus school, plus YouTube. So my mind is stretched like a rubber band. And so I have you tired of Claressa Sheilds' attitude. Everybody said yes, including myself. So thank you for participating in the survey. So what I finished reading was kind of scary in the way of how serious this weigh-in is for boxing. Can you please explain to me just how important weigh-ins are? In combat sports, my cool peeps, like boxing and MMA, the official weigh-in is the absolute final hurdle a fighter must clear before they are legally allowed to step into the ring. It is arguably the most stressful, physical, punishing, and logistically critical part of a fighter's training camp. One of the things that stuck out to me and regarding this whole importance of the weigh-in is weight cutting strips fluid from the body, including the protective fluid surrounding the brain. If the fighter cuts weight too rapidly or improperly, they risk severe dehydration, which dramatically increases the danger of concussions or serious brain injury during the fight. Another thing that caught my attention as far as the heaviness of a weigh-in is, let me find it. Here, under psychological warfare, the face-off, breaking point. The weigh-in is usually the first time the public sees the fighters completely depleted. Looking into an opponent's eyes at the scales allows a fighter to see if their rival is mentally broken, exhausted, or fiercely confident. That's a lot for a weigh-in. And from what I'm assuming is that the weigh-ins are only about 10-15 minutes long, but in that short amount of time, a lot of things can go left if they don't go right. Another thing that can happen that I completely forgot about, although I heard coming up, as I grew up, I would hear like my dad making notes of like boxing matches with like I was about to call him LL Cool J. When Mike Tyson was boxing, I would hear my dad talking about if he don't make the weight, they're going to get stripped of his belt. I never really knew what he was talking about. But if they don't make it, they could lose their belts. So where is that at here? It is under championship title eligibility. The title stripping rule in championship boxing. If the defeating championship, hold on, let me see. It's got the title stripping rule. In championship boxing, if the defeating champion misses weight, they are automatically stripped of their world titles on the scale before the fight even happens. That's like public humiliation. Then in addition to that, they might have to pay 20% or 30% out of their own pocket to give to the opponent as a penalty. Now that's a lot to carry on, you know. Just one moment, my cool piece. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea. Alright, just one moment please. I'm checking a couple of things out. Okay. You know what? I don't even see it. Oh, here it is. Okay, I found it. Alright, my cool piece. So yes, that's why I came up with the name Water Cooler Rissa. Is this true? Whoa, repurposed. Turn belts into a water cooler. Yes, in the figment of my imagination, because I have a wacky imagination, she did. So I think I did get sidetracked. So, Claressa, Papoose, and her squad, if you are watching this, and I know you are, can you give us more detail, if you are allowed to? Tell us how the conditions were. I'm curious to know the environment of that press conference. I actually like the press conference, and it's probably because I'm a different type of artsy type of woman. I'm more drawn to things that most people don't like, and the majority of the people, including Joe Budden, well, I know Joe Budden talked about how he said the fight setting was ghetto at the State Farm Arena, but I don't know if Joe Budden talked about the conditions of the press conference. But once again, I'm a different type of artsy-fartsy. I'm drawn more to the things that folks don't like, so I like the press conference. I like the setup and everything. Since that, I'm curious, how was the climate there? Was it really hot? Like, did they have the air conditioner on? I see that they did give you water, but as I looked at the picture of the water bottles on there, I didn't see any perspiration. So that could mean only two things. There wasn't any air conditioner on, so the water bottles couldn't even sweat if they wanted to. The water bottles were warm, and it was in a warm environment. Or number two, the air conditioner was on. But if that's the case, yeah, I didn't see the water bottles perspiring at all. So I'm just curious, how was it? Because as I was saying, at the picture I had before, as I looked at it with Papoose, it did look like he was sweating. So I don't know, man, unless he got into a fight right before the wow, right before here. I'm getting ready to ask, did Papoose get into an altercation before the press conference? Wow. Hold on now. Hold on. Before the press conference? I'm about to see. Oh, Okay, wait a minute. Yes, Papoose got into a highly publicized physical altercation in defense of Claressa Sheilds, though it occurred well before the June 2026 press conference. Once again, yes, Papoose got into a highly publicized physical altercation, according to AI, in defense of Claressa Sheilds, though it occurred well before the June 2026 Zeus press conference. That I didn't know. The incident took place in October 2025 when the social media prankster and comedian Gerald Hudson approached Sheilds while she was out with Papoose. Details of the altercation include, oh my gosh, the provocation. Provocation. Now, don't that sound like some type of medication? Provocation. If you have aching knees and ankles. Provocation. The provocation. According to AI, Hudson filmed himself repeatedly approaching Sheilds and intentionally misidentifying her as a tennis legend Serena Williams. The escalation. Sheilds tried to walk away and verbally corrected him, but Houston continued to press and step towards her. Papoose then stepped in, telling Houston, quote, chill out, end quote, and leave her alone. The altercation. When Houston refused to back down and stepped up to Papoose, the situation turned physical. Houston later went on social media showing facial injuries, claiming that Papoose struck him and cracked his nose. Sheilds later confirmed the incident online, simply stating, y'all already know what happened. Anybody that know Pap knows what happened. End quote. Fast forward to the actual June 30th, 2026 Zeus Network press conference. Oh, this is getting good. Papoose attended peacefully as an executive for Win Records, one of the co-promoters, and a Shield supporter partner. While the dramatic altercations that day were left to uncarded fighters like Ray J and Orlando Brown. If you're interested, I can share more about Papoose's role as an executive helping negotiate Claressa's boxing contract, or the viral drama between Ray J and Orlando Brown at that specific Zeus press conference. Wow. Now that was Mr. Potato Head. That was not buckets of fun, but that was loads of fun. I didn't know that. Now the altercation happened last year. Okay. So I asked, did Papoose get into an altercation before the Zeus press conference? According to AI, yes, Papoose got into a highly publicized physical altercation in defense of Claressa Sheilds, though it occurred well before the June 2026 Zeus press conference. The incident took place in October 2025. When the social media prankster and comedian Gerald Hudson approached Sheilds while she was out with Papoose. That's crazy. Now, Replay Squad, did you hear about that? I mean, so much stuff has transpired since October 25th till now. It's easy to forget that Papoose got into an altercation with that guy. Wow. So Hudson filmed himself repeatedly approaching Sheilds and intentionally misidentifying her as the tennis legend Serena Williams. The escalation. Sheilds tried to walk away and verbally corrected him, but Hudson continued to press and step towards her. Papoose then stepped in, telling Hudson to, quote, chill out, end quote, and leave her alone. When Hudson refused to back down and stepped up to Papoose, the situation turned physical, according to AI. Hudson later went on social media showing facial injuries, claiming that Papoose struck him and, quote, cracked his nose. Yikes. Sheilds later confirmed the incident online, simply saying, y'all already know what happened. Anybody that knows Pap knows what happened. That's crazy. We are approaching the 2-hour mark of this live stream, and I've learned, well, I read through an abundance or a plethora of information. Water Cooler Rissa is the name that I'm giving her. I think that was really cool. You know what? I'm glad I said that title. Hold on, I'm getting ready to ask. I think that's everything right there. That was a lot. Was at the okay. I have one more question, unless some other questions transpire after this. But the physical environment and layout of the press conference featured a distinct separation between the stage setup and the attendee and amenities. The temperature and setting, the stage environment. The temperature on and immediately around the stage was described by attendees and viewers as incredibly hot, largely due to the massive high-power broadcast lighting rings required for the live Zeus network app stream. So it was hot. And that picture I showed earlier, that probably was him, and he was sweating because it was hot. The room setting. The main room itself was a standard heavy air-conditioned indoor venue spaced in Atlanta, meaning the general audience areas started out relatively cold before the crowded room and intense stage drama heated up the atmosphere. According to AI, refreshments and hospitality, referring to the physical environment and layout of the press conference, featured a distinct separation between the stage setup and the attendee. Refreshments and hospitality. Thank you guys for the likes. Fighter tables. The main stage tables where the athletes and reality stars sat were strictly limited to bottled water to accommodate the fighters who were in the middle of active training camps and monitoring their weight. VIP and media hospitality. While the general public seating did not include food, the venue featured a private media and VIP lounge area separate from the main stage that provided catered refreshments, light finger foods, and drinks for the executives. Oh man. So like the audience didn't get food. While the general public seating did not include food, the venue featured a private media and VIP lounge area separate from the main stage that provided catered refreshments, light finger foods, and drinks for the executives, promoters, and credentialed journalists covering the event. If you want, I can share more details about the specific clothing and outfits the fighters wore to the event, or what Saucy Santana did to keep the control of the panel. What in the world could Saucy Santana do? This Zeus Network, they cannot control themselves. So what do you think Saucy Santana was gonna do? Besides call the security in. Ah, man. This was a great live stream. I want to thank all my cool peeps for coming in, saying hi, giving a thumbs up, participating in the survey, and listening to me in your background. Thank you for coming in. Also to the premiere that was up. It was a 2-hour premiere with the Funkos. Just something to give everyone a laugh, because every once in a while we all deserve to laugh. So I had a nice turnout for that. Thank you for contributing to my watch time as I strive for the 4,000 watch hours before cutoff time. Thank you all for making it happen. We talked about so many things today in this realm of the particular topic, and I'm glad to have learned more about the importance of weigh-ins. I did not know exactly how important the weigh-in was until today. It's literally life or death, and so many people's lives are on the lines because, like what Claressa says, she covers a lot of people's costs, and outside of Claressa, celebrities in general, they find it that they are taking a lot of the financial burden of wanting to help their family or feeling oppressed over the fact that they may have to cut family members off if they are being too heavily reliant on them. You know, it's a lot that goes into that being a boxer. And if they miss weight, all that training and all that money that they spend according to AI goes down the tubes if they don't make weight. So it's a lot on the line for these boxers. It's a lot of pressure. It's not about getting into the ring and losing at that regard. It's about just at least doing what you love, which is boxing, and just making your weight. If you can just do that consistently, heck, if I was a boxer, if I just did that consistently, I wouldn't even really care about anything else because I know that financially things will come to me eventually. Because if the people from the outside looking in, based on my small educational background on boxing, if I could just make my weight consistently, show up to every event, have good sportsmanship, have a beautiful winning spirit, somebody will want to sign me. Somebody will want to train me. Somebody will want me on their squad simply because of that. That's consistency, a solid person, a solid mind, someone who respects herself, the game, and everybody around her. It's a win-win. So if I were forced into the boxing arena, that would be the angle that I would take, because that would be the angle that would get me through. Because if I tear boxing apart the way AI just tore it apart just on the weigh-in aspect alone, it would tear me apart mentally because it's just too much to think about. But if you keep it simple like that, it'll be smooth sailing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, pets, plants, animals, artificial intelligence, and all living, breathing things here under the sun, I welcome you all to LA. My name is LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Home for the misfits, the peculiars, the ones who are misunderstood, the black sheep. This is an actual platform where we offer variety. I don't just say it because it sounds good. We actually offer a variety of artistry here on our channel. So when you come on, you might see something completely different from what you saw. But I guarantee you, if you like me talking about Claressa Sheilds, there's already a playlist ready with all her stuff. So if you want to see Claressa Sheilds, the playlist is already available for you to listen to specifically her. I did take the liberty to do that, being that we are a true variety platform. So if you only want to come see me talk about Joe Budden, there's a playlist dedicated to all Joe Budden stuff, Breakfast Club, and whatever else you may draw interest to. Even music is categorized. It's time for me to get ready to get on out of here. It's my 2-hour limit. I have to get ready to switch gears. I have to balance my skills because I've gone back to school now. I started school online full load at Georgia Military College. I have entered my 3rd week of schooling, and I am so incredibly surprised at myself for how I'm balancing all of this out. It's a lot, it's intimidating, but it's all fun at the same time. It's a new challenge in my life, and it's a healthy challenge. So I had to get ready to go, which is why I haven't been consistent on here far as the times, because I'm balancing out something new that's in my life. I've gone back to school to pursue my associate's degree in psychology. I'm going to pursue psychology because I want to strengthen my character building in my fictional writing. I'm a self-published author. So I really enjoy writing. I really enjoy teaching through my writings. So I am going back to school to strengthen that up. I had to get out of here. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your monetary donations. You have all been a blessing. When you watch my videos, that's also giving to me because I can use the watch time. I know that you will find at least 12 other videos on this platform that you will like. Until next time, what do I say when I remember it? Always be yourself. Being yourself is one of the biggest crosses you will ever have to bear in life. Once you can manage being yourself, life will be a lot more balanced. I love you all. Until next video, I'll see you all later. Bye bye, my cool peeps.